Welcome to another edition of the Movies and Stuff podcast. This is your host, Mr. Green, and here's another upload from years ago when I had the delightful honor of interviewing one of the artists of Zenescope Entertainment and one of the founders of Zenescope Entertainment. And as I said in one of the other lost interviews that was kind of found, fortunately for me, uh, it was a matter of me kind of finding some of these purged files since its original home has now gotten rid of all of this stuff. So when I do come across these old gems, or at least in my mind, old gems on the hard drive, I absolutely have to re-upload it so that it has a safe home. And these days, hey, YouTube is a fairly safe location. I would think, at least for the time being. So, if for you comic book lovers out there, particularly of this particular brand, anybody that has heard of Zenescope, they certainly know what it is all about. They know the type of art that they are looking to, well, not that looking to produce, that they do produce and that they have produced for years now, and that the audience that they have always kind of targeted, that young male with their art style. If you are not aware of that by now, I'm sure that just looking at the thumbnail alone, you probably get the point. So for those that are interested in what they were talking about back in the day, and a lot of this information is evergreen, so it still works, it still flies. So if you're interested in Zenescope and how they did and what they do and why they did what they do or are doing, then this is the interview for you. And here it is right now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special edition of Fanboys Radio. This is your host, Mr. Green. Unfortunately, my co-host, Miss Kitty Ninja, cannot join me for this interview today, which she's going to be kicking herself for because she really enjoys this particular comic brand. And I am going to open up the lines right now and say that both my lines, area code 623, area code 215, you are both open and live. We can hear you, so speak when ready.
Yo. Whoa, there's Raven there. Hey, this is Ralph Tedesco at Zenescope Entertainment. How you doing, Brian?
We are doing fine, just fine. Thank y'all both for popping in. I appreciate it. And first off, just for people like me that, there's been some debate with the name of Zenescope. Let's clear the air with that right now.
Okay.
How do you pronounce that out for everybody out listening?
For everyone listening, it's a good question actually. It's Zenescope Entertainment is the appropriate and proper pronunciation. But a lot of people like to say Zenescope, so I got sick of correcting people. So we just let it go. But it's Zenescope.
Okay, see, that's why I got here and started to fumble over my words and say it incorrectly.
It's okay.
I wanted to make sure that we put that out there. So if nothing else, we've established how to say it properly. Now, whether they actually go out and do that is a whole different story.
Correct. At least we put it out there so people
that's right.
will know.
And I must repeat that co-host is going to be kicking herself for having missed this. Kitty, I'm sorry, hon. We'll get back to you later.
She should have made it.
Well, prior commitments have kind of, stumped her at this point, but it is what it is. We'll get you guys back just for her. So to jump right into the interview point, I have to ask, the whole look of the comic company seems to kind of mold one particular way for the eyeballs of young males, typically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Who came up with that idea? Let's go with that.
With the idea of
the young women as the primary hero. I was trying to put it in a nice way.
I wanted you to say no. So it's fine. And Raven can chime in on this too. But Joe and I started the company 5 years or so ago. And we knew kind of the way we wanted to direct the company was to think outside the box, more so than some of the other publishers out there. We needed to in order to establish ourselves, and we just thought, we always knew having strong female lead characters who also had this sexiness or that sexy quality to them was a big deal. I mean, it's an 18 to 34-year-old male-dominated audience, of course. So that's why we started that way. But it kind of took on a life of its own, where we now picked up a ton of female fans along the way, because of the whole fairy tale theme and the Wonderland themes, and so I think it kind of hits both markets now.
I mean, we really do take that whole don't judge a book by its cover to a whole nother level.
Mm.
Yeah, because
a lot of times we'll have the sexy cheesecake covers, but our stories we try to make sure that they appeal to a wide range, wide audience. And so the interiors, we want to make sure that obviously the artwork's top notch, but we also want to make sure the storylines appeal to both female readers as well as male readers.
And top-notch stories you do have. As I said to you offline, I personally know two young ladies that are, huge fans of the comic book lineups that you guys have. In fact, you also note that they have done a bit of cosplay for your Alice line, and
right.
They're very happy with those things. I'm pretty sure you can call either one of them up at the drop of a dime and say, hey, we're looking for somebody to do Alice, and they'll jump all over it. But, back to the business at hand, what you sent me was, I believe, one of your newer titles, at least some pics from your newer title, Monster Hunters. Now, the one that I got in the email and the one that I saw on your website look a little bit different. The one on your website almost reminds me of Evil Dead.
Okay.
Was that a little bit of the feel that we were going for here? I mean, because, I see the chainsaw, I see the zombies.
Yeah, that's a Talent Caldwell cover. And the Monster Hunter Survival Guide, I mean, it's sort of it's a whole different element we brought in. It was something Joe and I had the idea for, along with the writer, John Paul Russ, who's a self-proclaimed monster hunter, who's been doing this, who's been hunting monsters. I laugh, but he'll kill me if you hear me laugh.
Okay.
He's a real deal, man. He's been around, and he's written about his experiences as a monster hunter, and it's very interesting. It's an incredibly interesting read, and he kind of goes step by step on how to survive a monster attack in various forms, and that's what the series is about. It's different. It's different. It's cool. It's fun. It's a fun read. It's sort of like the Zombie Survival Guide in a sense. If anybody's ever read that, it's this very similar element to that the Zombie Survival Guide that was written, I think, by Max Brooks. But this takes it to another level.
So let me clarify here for those that may be listening. If you want to know how to survive monsters in their varied forms, you can pick up this book and it will tell you step by step what you need to do.
That is correct. It'll go through every type of monster you can think of. What's that?
I said, apparently he must be doing a good job because I ain't seen no monsters.
You haven't seen one yet. He keeps them at bay, I guess. Who knows?
I guess so. It has to be doing a good job. I haven't seen any running around.
Not yet. They haven't made it out.
Not yet.
They haven't made it to Philly or New York yet. So.
Oh, okay. Well, they haven't made it down here. Now I have to ask, per request, about the Neverland title. I was asked to bring this up.
What exactly did you want me to go over the premise of the
concept? Let me rewind that a little bit.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Brian. Now, I was going to say, here's what a lot of our what we do started with the Grimm fairy tales and putting dark twists on these classic stories, and that was sort of the model of Zenescope, and that took off for us. And we always knew we were going to have these other universes tied in, like the Wonderland mythology, the dark twist on the Alice in Wonderland story, where Alice's daughter goes back into a nightmarish version of Wonderland that Raven wrote. Neverland's the same concept. We take the Peter Pan mythology and we kind of flip it around, flip it on its ear, and make Pan this evil character who is basically killing children, which is a very disturbing, dark story to begin with. And then we take the Hook character and kind of make him the hero, the anti-hero of the story. And that is, it was just a story that Joe and I had thrown around years ago, and Joe wrote, and it turned out to be a pretty popular title for us.
I see, and I must admit, it taking a life of its own probably is a bit of an understatement for the whole lineup here, because I remember the first time I went to a comic book shop, I do not recall as many different versions of it as the last time, or now if I'm browsing over the internet, or when I walk into a comic shop now, I've seen the Three Bears, I've seen the Little Mermaid, I've seen of course the Snow White, the Alice in Wonderland. I mean it's like you keep going broader and broader, and finding something to flip around and make something out of.
Yeah, I mean it's a constant. I mean we had a plan for it from the beginning. We knew what stories we wanted to cover. When we have a bunch more that we want to get to as we go along. There's so many different well-known public domain titles out there, and we kind of just took them and created our own universe and created our own characters based on those public domain characters. And I think it's just something we feel we do a good job of. Luckily, we have good writers like Raven helping us out. Dan Wickline does a lot of our writing as well. So yeah, I mean it's a constant evolution as well. I mean we're always trying to think ahead, a little bit ahead, and we're always trying to think outside. Like I said, think outside the box a little bit on all this stuff. So there's definitely a market for it, which we found, and we definitely have some great fans who continue to follow the title, so that's important.
Yes. Let me get that. Satan's daughter. Salem's daughter.
Salem's daughter.
There we go. Salem's daughter, yes.
Yeah.
I have to talk about that. The whole concept, because that doesn't seem to fall into fairy tale land. A little dark, yes, but it's
yeah, that's one of our, and we do titles that don't spin off of the fairy tale stuff. We have the universe that ties together, but we also have done titles that don't necessarily connect with that universe. And Salem's Daughter hasn't connected yet in any form yet. But
yet. Okay. There's a plan.
There's an ultimate plan. And Raven actually has some ideas that we've thrown around for quite a while. And so Salem's Daughter was always just sort of we wanted to do sort of like I was a big fan of X-Files, a big fan of Buffy when that was going on. And so it was sort of our way of doing Buffy meets X-Files and setting it in the Old West, which was like a sort of like a hodgepodge of different types of genres. And I don't know, we just had this idea, and I was like, let me try and write this out because I really like this concept. And it follows this witch who's kind of just developing her powers. She's been hiding her powers from people for a long time, and now they're starting to come to fruition, and she's afraid to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, because the Salem witch trials, obviously.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a story about this witch who gets premonitions of things going on, supernatural things going on in different cities and different areas, that she'll kind of travel to these areas to try to solve the problem of what's happening. And we explore her going into this New Jersey town and battling against the Jersey Devil, the legend of the Jersey Devil, and riding along with her is this gunslinger named Braden Cole. So That's the general idea.
And speaking of witches, I also note that you guys have had your hands into the Charmed franchise.
Yes. It was Raven, did you want to talk a little bit about Charmed?
Yeah, I mean...
Instead of me rambling here.
Zenescope picked up the license for the series about a year ago, Ralph? I think.
About a little under a year ago.
Yeah, and basically the series kind of picks up right off of about a year after the end of the television series, and we get to see where the Charmed ones' lives are currently right now in the continuity of the story, like what's been going on, like since they basically had their happily ever after. The catch to it all is that not everything really is what it seems, and where they think they've taken care of all this evil, there's actually a big bad that's slowly coming back to throw the Charmed ones' lives into a hectic mess all over again. So I mean, it's something really nice that we tried our best to develop it to where like people who are just comic book fans could read the book and get into it. And one of the really freeing things about doing the story in comic book form is there's no limitations on budget, whereas with TV, you can only spend so much money on special effects, et cetera, et cetera. We're only limited by what we can come up with and, what CBS will let us get away with.
Well, yeah.
So it's really fun. It's been a really fun series, and like the fans of the TV show and comic book fans seem to really dig it. And looking forward, we're almost done with the first arc, so things are going good.
Okay, and let me apologize for that little blank out I had there. Had some technical difficulties. Glad that you kept talking over it. Anyway, now I'm glad you brought the whole CBS deal, because given how some of your female characters have been portrayed on their covers and whatnot, did they have any concern whatsoever what you may do with the characters from Charmed, or did they care?
Yeah. No, they definitely don't want us to go over the top. Although we have a Greg Horn cover that I was kind of worried they wouldn't really be approving because it's a little bit. It's like the three girls, assumingly naked under some leaves laying there. It's done in a classy fashion, but it was definitely a little risque. And their only note was add more leaves.
Okay.
So I mean, but they're we want to. They don't want us to go overboard with the cheesecake, and it's not a big issue for us.
Well, and not only that, I think a lot of it definitely has to do with the fact that although we do have these somewhat provocative covers, like every female character in all of our stories, especially the lead female characters, they're always portrayed as strong, independent, motivated women versus like, the damsel in distress kind of thing that comes with cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that in itself kind of represents why we have such a large female fan base. So I think that has part to do with it.
Okay.
Of why there's not as much concern.
Now, earlier I heard you guys say yet as far as, I guess, crossing over the characters and whatnot. I don't know if you heard me when I was having my difficulties, but I'll repeat the question. Are there any plans to incorporate, or let's just say cross over, the Charmed ones into the normal world of Zenescope? And I hope I said that right.
Yeah, you did. That's the Charm ones crossing into like the fairy tale universe is doubtful.
Well, let's just say the natural crossover would be Salem's Daughter.
Salem's Daughter is gonna down the road, as and we wrapped up the first miniseries. There was no real crossover there, but we're gonna do another arc, and we kind of want to do a crossover for it. It just has to make sense. And there's ideas. I mean, there's always been an idea there to make it happen. So probably, we will crossover. So
nice.
let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, we can go at probably maybe.
Probably maybe. But not every title is always going to cross over. I mean, there's certain titles, like we came out with the Stingers a little while back, which was basically its own entity, and that wouldn't cross over.
Okay. Real quick, Inferno. Have to touch base on that one. Where was the concept, the story? What prompted you to produce this?
Raven, do you want to start with Inferno, or?
Well, the origin of the Inferno story is back in Grimm Fairy Tales 29. We had did a story with a character who was an assassin for hire, who basically she tracked down the individual who had murdered her parents, that basically set her on her path to becoming who she became. And as revenge, she murdered his kid in front of him. And we got a lot of heat for it because, like, you don't kill kids in comics, regardless of the motivation behind it. So fast forward a few
I want
years,
to say we didn't really kill a kid.
Yeah, we didn't really.
It was a comic book kid.
It was a comic book.
We got a lot of email like angry
it was
people.
fictional.
I was like, this didn't really happen.
And like at the time, Joe and Ralph were like, "Dude, I'm not sure about this." And me being who I am, I just like, no, it makes a powerful statement because she's trying to hurt this guy, and killing him isn't hurting him. Like she wants to hurt him even worse. So they let me do it. God bless their souls. And we got a lot, like Ralph said, we got a lot of slack for it.
Probably
so
not
years
that
later,
much, but it was a little. We got some letters.
Years later, we returned to the character, and basically she's being haunted by the ghost of this little girl, and she gets a chance to redeem herself and make the choice that she should have made. And actually, instead of killing the girl, she kills herself because of all the guilt over all the life she's taken being an assassin over the years. And that leads into the Inferno series, which Ralph is actually writing, that kind of deals with her quest for redemption. You want to go on more on that, Ralph?
Yeah, and the series basically takes place. I don't want to give anything away for those who haven't yet picked it up because there is a big twist after issue 1. But the series, the basic overall gist of the series is about Mercy Dante kind of fighting her way, literally fighting her demons in order to. She needs to rescue a past Grimm Fairy Tales character that was unjustly sent into hell by Celia Mathers, who's basically the main character in Grimm Fairy Tales. And so this contract killer, in order to redeem herself, needs to find somebody who doesn't belong in hell and save him. And that's the gist of the series. Is basically a contract killer, fighting demons through the rings of hell. And, she's a kick-ass female character, as we like to always try to write about. So all worked out.
As is the trademark of the company.
Yes.
Kick-ass female character.
Kick-ass female character.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said before, when I looked at the website earlier, I mean, it's all over the place. And there's two things I have to squeeze in there before you guys go. Of course, the calendar girls. Well, I shouldn't say the calendar girls. Girls of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody likes the girl of the month. Certainly no problems there for me or any guy that ever looks at the comics or looks at the website. But who decided, hey, let's take a different road. We got strong female characters here. Let's have these girls dress up as their favorites and shoot them off to us, and we'll post it in the books or put it online, whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was an idea I had last year, before last year, because we started it in 2009. So we just said, you know what, like we would get a lot of submissions out of the blue from girls who are fans, and they would they would just email their pictures of them dressed in like fairy tale outfits and be like, hey, these are I'm a big fan, here I am. And hey, I wasn't complaining. I was getting emails with girls in fairy tale outfits, but I was like, we should turn this into like a contest, and so we turned it into a contest where girls could submit their photos, and basically the employees here vote on the girl each month and who's going to win it based on the pictures themselves, based on the email and how big a fan the girl is. Like a lot of girls will write like long emails about all the books they enjoy, et cetera, et cetera. So we turned it into a contest, and last year the winner won a trip to San Diego Comic-Con. We're doing the same thing this year. The winner, we'll have a vote after December. The December girls announced. We'll have the 12 girls of the year, and then there'll be a vote, and the winner will win a trip to San Diego Comic-Con 2011.
Cool.
So it's a fun contest, and then obviously you have people who like to check out the girl of the month each month. So can't go wrong there. Of course.
We're such a giving company.
We
just
give.
Always give. We give.
We give back.
That's right. You give entertainment.
And Raven's going to be the girl of the month for December. That's the surprise. No, God help us all.
Merchandise. You cannot go without talking about the merchandise, because we have a cool line of merchandise which can be found. Here's the quick plug, Zenescope.com. You can go there, and right on the front page, the home page, I see the Inferno shirt, the hat, the mug, and another T-shirt happening down there. Anything else that you guys have going on in the merchandising line that you want to put out there to the people so that they can go flood your shop zone?
Yeah, I mean, check out the shop, because we do have a ton of merchandise. Our T-shirts are big right now. Get a lot of the T-shirts. We opened up, we have a Zazzle store now, so there's stuff there you can purchase. We're doing statues. Clay Moore, I don't know if you know who Clay Moore is. He's probably the biggest name in statues in the industry. He does CS Moore Studios if you check out his site. But he's doing a couple statues of our Wonderland themed characters for us. And so calendars. The merchandising stuff is getting bigger and bigger. We're doing a board game coming out soon. A Wonderland board game. Yeah, it should be fun. So,
well, that's different.
Raven's excited about that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, now.
We also have glassware. We have shot glasses. We have pint glasses. So it's pretty big, pretty nice right now with the merchandising.
And also, as you said earlier, you guys give and give and give. You have a free online comic book. So if you are listening and you have not yet sampled the merchandise or the comics that Zenescope has to offer, you go right there and take a read of one of their freebies.
Yep, you can do that. We also are on Comixology on the iPhone app right now. If you download, if you go and check out Comixology, you can check out Zenescope's books there, and we have a bunch of free books you can just download right to your iPhone. So
I'm pretty sure most of the guys are going to get on there and see the 2011 calendar and just go start buying that up.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool calendar. If you like the cover images we have, you'll love the calendar.
Oh well, so yeah, that I think that's going to be a big seller for the end of the year right there, the calendar, because you can't go get that after 2011 kicks off. You got to get it now. Right?
Well, we're almost out of calendars, really, so you probably need to get one soon if you want one.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
Get to the store.
You're listening. You need to hurry up. Hit the Grimm Fairy Tales 2011 calendar. Snow White is right there on the cover with the apple in hand and the glasses. Got the teacher thing going on. So it's ready to roll.
Set 2011 off right.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure that we got everything, in the time that we have you here.
You covered everything, Brian. You did it.
I tried my best, sir. Tried my best. And I want to thank you and Raven, for both coming on, squeezing this in the middle of your day for this quick interview. I want to tell you that the doors are open for you to come back. We definitely want you to come back because I know Kitty and December both missed you, and I'm relatively sure that they would at least want to say hey, if nothing else.
Well, that would be great. No, anytime.
All right.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having us, man.
And thank you guys for coming on. You know, you've been very gracious. Now the women that send you the pictures at least halfway know what they have to do. They need to write a book saying that they know about everything that you guys do, and then they'll get some more attention when y'all put the votes out.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. That's the way it goes.
Well, I'm not going to hold you guys up anymore. I'm just going to put out your Facebook page, or at least tell people out there that if you are on Facebook, you definitely want to hook up with them. They are on Facebook, and the link to it is on their website. Again, I'm pushing people back to the website. I'm plugging it. Like those
appreciate
people on,
it. Yeah, just come to facebook.com/Zenescope. You'll find us. There
you go. Again, Mr. Green does his best. I try to get you guys in and out, get the interview done, and we're good.
All right, man.
And you guys come back. We'll be in touch on the email. Kitty Ninja will be in touch with you, and so will December.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, guys.
Take it easy.
Appreciate you both. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, man.
All right. Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the exclusive interview with Zenescope. And as I said earlier, if for nothing else, we have discovered the proper way to say the name. So now, quick plug again for them, even while they're gone, go to their website, Zenescope.com, and you can check out all of their merchandise, the T-shirts, the hats, the mugs. They got some nice T-shirts there, I must say. You can also see the Girl of the Month. If you're a guy and you want to see just what kind of young ladies get out there and like to dress up in the fairy tale gear, they are there. And, maybe one day they'll let you get your vote in as well. You can also check out some of their comics, which is the primary reason that you should always go to their website, because they're a comic company. You go to check out their comics, Glitter Fairy Tales, Halloween, the Monster Hunter Survival Guide, the free online comic book, that's there. And, of course, I'm kind of interested in that Monster Hunter Survival Guide myself, because it does have a ring of the Evil Dead in there. It has a very good look to it. It works for me. Anyway, also, if you have not had the opportunity to go to their website, you can certainly go to ours, fanboystv.com, and all of the pictures that was forwarded to me to push Zenescope and promote Zenescope will be there waiting for you to look at and peruse over. And of course, link anyone that is checking out this podcast back to any company or any person that we've talked to. The Facebook connects for ourselves, and the Twitter connects for ourselves, and the YouTube connect for ourselves are also up there. Kitty Ninja, her personal gallery is there waiting for you to look over her in all of her cosplay glory. Let me say that correctly. Cosplay